That is interesting. So I'm going to wait for a second for you guys to come in, but I'm going to be talking about the online course that I've been waiting forever to actually be messing around with this stuff and spending the time that I need to spend so that I can be just opening up all different parts of the course software. So if you go to lightingcourse.com, there's going to be all sorts of individual little separate online courses that you'll be able to take. And off the bat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the best of it and I'm just going to make that free. So for everybody that comes in, that gets involved with it over the next like 34, 35 days, they're basically all just going to get access to everything as it kind of unrolls. And that's not going to be like the hardcore crazy stuff. It's going to be just how to make money. Like I think instead of making a bunch of videos on YouTube showing how to make money and how to, I don't know, do all the different little things involved with custom lighting where you're just building all kinds of different stuff, I don't think that's smart. I think that there's a certain amount of things that you can do that are going to help out, that are going to, just allow you to make some income on the side. And so that's what I want that online course specifically to be on the side. So that's going to be not, regular content like I do on YouTube, and it's not going to be the kind of stuff that I think a lot of people want to learn, like the sequential lighting and all the crazy programming and all that. But I think it's going to be dope because people are going to make some money out of it. And I want to get some, I don't know, I want to hear what it does for people, what they take that and what they turn it into. Cool car parts. I even made a joke and I was just like, hey, like if you're trying to hook up your car, if you're trying to buy your girl some boobs, if whatever, here's a good way to make 10 grand, over the course of a few weeks of training of just building lights on the weekend. So that's pretty much the gist of what this stream is going to be. So I just want to make it available to you. So it's in the description below. This is going to be a short one. I figured I'd answer a couple quick questions, but it's Sunday. It's actually freezing cold and I'm out in my garage right now. So yeah, so I want to definitely talk with you guys a little bit while you're here. So fire away any questions and let me know where you're watching from, how the sound is and all of that stuff, because this is the first time, instead of using a really terrible like 720, the like phone, the iPhone going live, I got this set up. This is going to be for all the new live streams. This is going to be the camera that I use as like an overhead shot aiming down as I'm working in the shop. So it should be cool. Anyway, let me know where you're watching from and ask those questions. So there was a couple of them that you guys had posted up. So I'll pull up those questions on my phone and answer them first while you are letting me know what you want me to answer while you're here with me. So we got Tyler Hicks, got Andre, we got Frequa Froy. I don't know if I said that right. Let's see, we got Carrie Mathis, we got Matthew Green, Jay, what's up, Jay? We got Adam Ferguson, Andrew Davis, Matthew Green, Fat Kid. What up, Fat Kid? DIY people. I see you in Rialto. What's up? Casey Griffin, Billy, Jay again, Carlos. Wow. Definitely seems like the live stream looks a lot better on this thing. How does it sound? Is it? I hope it's decent because I can't really tell. Anyway, so you guys are all over the place. 12 BMX dude from the Netherlands. There's a bunch of dudes in the Netherlands that watch this stuff. I love that. I think that's super cool. Stream's all good in the UK. Thanks, Matt. That's awesome. Tyler says, you have my light on your car? Dude, I can't wait. So like within the next, I want to say within the next week, I'm not 100% sure, we're going to have thousands and thousands of new bulbs, switchback bulbs, brake lights, reverse lights, all the turn signal stuff. Like I'm going to literally start chattering right now. I'm so cool. Whew, freezing. But yeah, so I think we're going to have bulbs on all kinds of people's cars. That, and then what I really want to see people do, I'll give you a little like sneak peek a little bit further into the online course. I can't really like drop it and show you on here, so I'll do another little video that's pre-recorded for that. But amongst all the bulbs and stuff like that we're going to do with this 5 months to 5 figures, the idea is that you'll work a couple, basically a few hours on the weekend, just on the weekends. It's going to show you how to make an easy $300 to $500 per job on the weekend and how to turn that into $10,000 for yourself. And most people aren't going to do that, by the way, but a few people I guarantee are going to go through and they're going to work their way through all that stuff. They'll probably blow those numbers away. I have a perk for those guys. And after they've been doing this stuff and following through the guide, basically through the online course, I'm going to allow them to get discounts on parts that aren't even coming from me. Because if you buy them from me and you get a discount, I take forever on everything. I don't want to be the bottleneck. So all the new things I'm trying to create with my time and my resources are how to help you guys out without me being the bottleneck. So I've got you hooked up with THC. So you'll be able to buy those etched lenses directly from Eric over there. A lot of people have been asking about that for Demonize. And I recommend if you're going to build lights for other people, use those etched lenses. They're so dope. They're super dope. And everybody gets pumped on you because you just bought some dope lenses from Eric and you stick a demon eye behind it and you look like a magician. Super cool. So let's see. All right, Nelson Tan, what up? Watching from Winnipeg, Canada. I love all your work. How I wish I could do my own headlights too. Bro, that's what this stream is for. Go to lightingcourse.com. I plan to make a ton of content there. Over the next few months alone, there's going to be like the majority of my time is going to go into that. And then because I'm not taking on custom builds anymore, I'll just get to work on GTR lights on the side, which I'm not going to just flood the YouTube channel with, hey, here's more GTR lights, because you guys have seen so much of that. But I'm just going to be working on the online course stuff. So that's literally where my income is going to come from. And there's even certain jobs that, like from the past, that I haven't gotten to, that I'm just going to cancel them. I'm going to have to, because I won't be able to be working on the online course like I wanted to. Short story, 10 months ago, I launched the online course thing, the beta group. So I brought in a few guys. I, kind of started setting stuff up, and I never got the time I needed to go hardcore with it. So that's literally what I'm going to do with this group right now. A few guys are going to go hardcore. A lot of people have been asking about the course that's $500. I really want that to be just super dialed in and legit. So all of April is just going to be me bringing in people into that online course. $500 a head. Like it sounds crazy, but honestly, this free thing that I'm making available to you right now, like you should be able to make that $500 in a weekend. So I'm not worried about the cost of it. I think the value of that course is going to be 10x what anybody's paying me to get access to all this stuff. No magic, no bells and whistles where it's like, just do this easy thing. Like, you're going to work hard. It's going to be dope. It's going to be something that you can actually have a skill that makes you a bunch of money that you can use anytime you want. And that's what all that's about. So instead of saying all the same stuff I've already said before, just jump over to lightingcourse.com. I'm straight stuttering now because my hands are frozen. But yeah. So the thumbnail I used on this video is 5 months to 5 figures. That's the thing that you'll have access to. You literally just put your name and your email. They'll send you an email that has a password on there. Log in, start going after it. It's online. Do it at your own pace. But I'm pumped. Like I want people to definitely have like some massive impact on just their financial situation alone. A lot of people having an extra $2-3 grand a month would be huge. I mean, it's huge for me. So I think that's why I have to get away from building custom lights, because I can't help people that way. I'm just helping myself. So dive back into comments. You guys are awesome. You're just flooding these comments. So Andre says everything's good. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Feed is great. Sick. I like webcams. I should have got one a long time ago. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, everybody says that it sounds good. So that's great. All right. Now I'm going to dive into the questions here from my phone. But Frickafoy says, can you give a step-by-step diagram on how to start learning to build on your own? Did it. Done it. That's what lightingcourse.com is all about, sir. RGB cool. RGB is cool, but the best is RGBW. I don't know, man. I mean, like, I've made a ton of money from doing things like RGB, but like, I don't even care about RGBW. And it's just my opinion. It's not anybody else's. It's just, I think I think what it comes down to is 90+% of the things that you can do are not wise to do if you're going to do this to make any money. If you want to do stuff for yourself, I think that's why people should take the big academy online course thing, because I'm just going to teach you everything that I know. That's not things that will help you, but you'll just know lots of cool stuff. You'll know how to build lights. You'll be able to refer back to that forever and just have, lifetime access. As long as the course exists, you'll have access to it. So I plan on this being 100% like my future, like what feeds my kids for years. So it's got to be amazing. And so that's for people that really want to go crazy with building things for their own self and just to have like a really cool knowledge. That's great. The funny thing is the most valuable of everything that I know, I'm giving away for free. And that's what is in that 5 months to 5 figures course. So that's literally how to say, like, I know a whole bunch of stuff, but only like this much of it can really, really help you. That's free. I'm just giving that away. So for now, I think I should charge for it coming up soon. So I put a timer on there. So as of the end of April, no more freeness. So jump in now and comment. There's a lot of stuff where you can comment in there and interact. And there's actually a private Facebook group. So I will invite everybody that signs up to that private Facebook group. And then we'll just get to chat on a much more consistent basis. So you have a little bit more access to me. And because as you can tell, I'm not getting to any questions, right? I'm just talking and freezing. Whew, okay, DJ Boom. Yo, dude, seen some insane cars on Instagram. Thanks, man. Kristen has been posting for me on Instagram. So she's definitely taking your guys' pictures and reposting them up. So anything that has any relevance or any tags that have FlyRyde in them, she's reposting those. So that's cool. Jesus Rosales, sign me up. Sign yourself up, my man. That's why I made it available. That's why the link is in the description, and I will be pumped to see you in there. Corey says, how about PDB? I do not know what that is. Explain. Acronyms are everywhere, so break it down for me, sir. Okay. I'm stoked. Jesus, you got big plans for it. That's sick. All right. Ollie, what up? Lightingcourse.com. Yep. Tyler Hicks, let you do my GTR. It's very weird. Like, you can't pay me to do it, so you certainly can't let me do it. But it's just it's a thing that doesn't work for me anymore. I can't work on everybody's car. Anyway, I'm in Latvia and stream is okay. That's awesome. That's Viesters. I don't know if I said that right. Fat Kid says, I don't know if that's, oh, there we go. Need the old boards and the LED you started with. I want to cut the board and everything and go forward with everything. Fun first, business later. Totally feel you, man. Jump on FlyRyde.com and do a search for power LED. We're also going to make a sequential section on the site so that I can just pump everything in there. If you have a WRX, by the way, or let's see, there's a few other parts that are available now. I'm not going to sell kits anymore from Modified Technology. I'm going to sell raw boards and just put a kit together. Lots of stuff is going to start changing from selling pre-made stuff to selling kits. All the components, the raw wires that are stripped. I had my buddy strip over 1,000 feet of wire where there's all these little sections like that big, and they're cut and stripped, and it's all done on a machine, like a pro crazy expensive machine. So we chopped everything up so that we can just assemble like the raw ghost boards and all the different little components, stick them in a little kit and send it off. You can do all the soldering. You can do all of that. The price will be less. You don't have to hunt around for it. You don't have to buy a bunch of rolls of different color wires so that you can have them, because all of those wires will be exactly how I've done it for years. The video will be free that shows you how to do it. You know, I figure anything that can get me out of the way from taking so long. So let me get through these things real quick. So Thomas says, would you suggest addressable NeoPixel or straight RGB? In my experience, straight RGB is tried and true and easy. Do that if it's for a customer. If it's just for you, go nuts, dude. Go NeoPixel. I mean, I'm going to be going nuts with it too, but only because I won't need to make money from it. Everything that I want to learn is going to be because I want to learn it so that I can teach it. It's not going to be so that it can make me money. So like maybe indirectly it'll lead to things that make me money, but I've had to stick with certain things for a long time because they were what led to the least amount of headache later. And so I think that's the kind of stuff that I would tell everybody that wants to do this as a business. Do things that will be repeatable and easy and fast. That's what the course talks about a lot, the free part. The things that are going to be very difficult, that like some people are on there like, challenge yourself. I'm like, bro, I've been challenging myself for 16 years. Like so like I get the idealism behind that, but at the same token, I don't need to prove anything to anybody at this point. It's like, that doesn't help anybody. What will help people is telling them the action steps that you can take that'll save you time, save you money, save you failure and stuff like that. But I think a little dose of failure is great. I think you can do a lot with that. So in any case, yeah. Let's see. Next question or next comment. I just bought some sequential lighting, front running light, turn signals from eBay. I don't know the quality, but I'll check them out. Dude, to be honest, like LED stuff has come so far in the last few years. Like even buying cheap stuff. See that chatter? Even buying cheap stuff, it's still really good today. Oh, Jesus, I got a heater right here. I should turn that thing on. Oh, I'm going to turn on a heater so I don't die right now. Because I'm a California boy and we're not good with cold weather. Yes! Wonderful. Oh, so much better. Okay. Hopefully that'll help. You guys hear it humming? Okay, so RGB seems more for a car show, not good for everyday use. I disagree. Use it every day. It's awesome. It's just fun, cool stuff. Everybody loves it. For the most part, all custom lighting makes people happy. Like, people love lighting. It's just an easy win. Dominco. Hi from Holland. Hi from Holland. What's up? What's up, Holland? Carrie says, are supplies needed? Are supplies needed for... Oh, I think you meant to say PCB. Yeah, so PCB and LEDs come on the site for the power LED stuff. So check that out. This is very cool to do. I'm glad you think so. That's what the real Jackson says. Ollie says, good question. I need to like get good at reading comments because I plan to do a lot of live streaming in April. All right, so Billy Krause says, I have a 2000 Dodge Intrepid and want to do all the car in RGB. Should be easy. I love XK Glow stuff for RGB controllers and for like their long strips and stuff like that. But you can also just buy like Amazon strips and then use a dope controller with them. You can also get power extenders or like amplifiers that amplify the signal. So you can just go nuts, just run a ton of them. I know that's what we're going to do with Calvin, TJ Hunt's buddy. Calvin is going to do all sorts of NeoPixel, but we're going to have to do like stuff that increases the signal strength and all that. So that'll be super iced out. I can't wait. I'm trying to underglow everything. I'll try to underglow the Ferrari if I can. TJ lets me go nuts with that. We'll do it. Casey, you just signed up. That is super dope. Make sure you be commenting and getting involved in all that. Where can I purchase the DIY supplies for making sequential taillights, PCB and LED ghost controller? Everything's on the site. Absolutely send over emails to sales@flyryde.com if you're looking for specific guidance, because Kristen's job is to literally serve the customers, customer service, like send you the links, send you the invoices for anything that we don't have on the site anymore. Tyler Hicks again says, would love for you to do my 2012 GTR. I would love to, maybe eventually down the road. This is what I would really rather. I would rather somebody learn some cool stuff from me and they do the work on your GTR, because I'm trying to not work on cars. I'm trying not to do custom builds for hire. So those days are behind me, my man. But I appreciate it and I love you. You're awesome. Carrie says, power distribution board for the LEDs for sequential lights. Yeah, there's some really cool stuff that's out there that I've seen. Even like the little resistor packs that you can use to drop the voltage for specific LEDs, like OEM LEDs. That's a very cool thing that you can do that works with Ghost. All right, Ollie signed up and download the PDF. Awesome sauce. Yeah, so let me explain that PDF. If you go to lightingcourse.com and you download the PDF, it comes automatically as soon as you sign up. It'll say thank you. It'll give you the PDF. You can download it to your phone, to whatever. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with PDF soon, including contracts that make it super easy for people to, you know, contract you to build stuff for them and then like digitally sign, and like then you're both safe and good to go. Pumped on that. But the PDF that's available right now to download, print it out. I wish I had one right here. I should show you, but I don't. So whatever. It's just a simple way for you to determine what is going to be the best car for you to work on. Because I say you should choose just one car to work on and do a bunch of builds for 5 months. You'll make 10 grand. Trust me, it's a true story. But you can really determine using that sheet. It's not like it's some amazing, I don't know, like I took like 15 minutes and I made this sheet that basically says, here's a car. Is it good to work with? Does it have the right kind of sealant that you can open easily so it's easily repeatable and all that? Is it a good candidate for a lot of people would want to modify it? I can't tell you how many times I get hit up. People are like, hey, nobody ever works on my car, or this type of car that I have. There's not a lot of aftermarket parts for it. There's all this stuff. And they're like crying about it. I'm like, dude, that's gold. That's a gold mine. One guy should go hit that market and dominate and just build nothing but those lights for all those guys, because they will line up. I don't care where they're located in the world. Like, people will line up if you're doing the thing that they want and you're providing that answer to their problem. Like, it's a good way to make 10 grand. So, but yeah, so the PDF will just help you kind of determine that, give a couple candidates. If your buddy's got the car, if there's a bunch of locals that have that car. I think it doesn't matter if you plan to do something for one type of car, like, and you plan to do a bunch of business, like people ship you their lights and all that. I just don't think you should do that until you've made a significant amount of money, so that like it's worth it to deal with shipping and all that. The first 5 months where I'm saying like make a few $1,000s, like that you should do without people shipping in lights, because it just takes longer. Packing lights, dealing with damaged shipping crap. I don't know. Don't do that until you know that what you're doing is working and it makes sense to expand. Off the bat, you can just build lights for people that are local. So that sheet will kind of, I don't know, you'll see. Go download it. It's dope. Okay, just like the Facebook page, I need to start driving people to Facebook. Now that I'm going to have the online course stuff, I'm going to be all over Facebook, and I'm going to try to be a lot more in front of things. I tried to just focus on building for the month of March, and it sucked. Like, I got a car there that's taken forever, and I much would rather be doing the online business stuff. So I would rather be hanging out with you guys and talking with you and helping you out and answering questions. So Dan says, where do I sign up? Lightingcourse.com. Dan, what about interior dash custom lighting? Ridiculously, grossly unprofitable, so I'll never do it. But at the point in time where I can keep expanding on the bulbs and stuff, T5, look up T5 LED bulbs. They're teeny. The ones that are like the license plate bulbs that we do are T10s. Those are widely available. T5, not so widely available, but most of the time that's what you can use to swap out dash bulbs, stuff like that. Will I ever do it? No. I started with that 16 years ago, so I already put in my time on in the trenches on that stuff. Now it was old school. I had to like wire up those LEDs from scratch too. So The Real Jackson says, how much light is cut down if the headlights are shaded? Good question. That was one of, I think you posted that in here. So let's see. I don't know. Maybe not. Somebody asked. In any case, significant amounts. It's not good. It makes very little sense to increase the output of a set of lights and then have a film over it. So like you can buy pre-cut films for headlights from like lots of different companies online. Some of them are $10 and some of them are $30 for the same thing. It's a bad move. It's like the only reason you're doing that is because you don't know how to do it the right way, which is open up the lights and do the interior black. There's a reason that a ton of cars come with black headlights now with like bi-xenon projectors, which means they do high and low beam. And just notice my face get all dim. But the reason that that's happening, that they're releasing lights now that are black inside, is because they look better. So like if you open up a set of lights and then you paint them black and seal them up, then they match your car, which is the only reason that you would tint them in the first place, right? So that question, yes, was from The Real Jackson. And that's for your O2 Taurus. Do not tint them if you can open them up and paint them. But, you know, so if there's ever a part that has a reflector, like a high beam, where it's just a bulb and it's like got like a square behind it, and all the little sections of the square, like they reflect light in different ways. If you paint that, you lose its function. So no bueno, you don't want to do that. But if it's just the chrome pretty pieces that are removable and all that, and there's not like a bulb directly mounted in, you can tell it's plastic versus more like a ceramic material. So anything that's chrome plastic, you can basically paint. There are some exceptions to that, like on my GTR work, there's certain parts that we can't paint that are right around the projectors because the sunlight will shine in, amplify into like focus into like basically turn the sunlight into like a little laser beam, and the laser will just scoot along that plastic and eventually it'll start melting the plastic. So that's what I call projector burn, sunlight refraction, just weird stuff. It sucks, but certain things you shouldn't paint because the projector will create that little amplified spot. It'll melt stuff, and the black, if you paint something, will allow that sunlight little focused energy to just focus and heat that whole section up and ruin it. Don't do that. But almost all car headlights, regardless of how they're sealed, if they're easy to get into or not, you paint them black, you seal them back up. There's no reason to tint the lenses, just ever. So Adam says, does your power LED kit 20 LEDs come with the PCB strips? It sure does, my man. It shows them in the pictures as well. And that's exactly what I've used in those videos in the past. So that is a great place to get started and play around with all this stuff. Also, if you go to amazon.com/shop/FlyRyde, that is the Amazon affiliate influencer page or whatever that I have. And I list some of the products that I use, materials and stuff like that too. So it's in the description as well. So click on that and I get a commission when you buy stuff. So I just have to tell you that, apparently. And I can't say anything more than that because it's an FTC regulation thing. YouTube is strange. Okay, more questions. Oh, actually, since that was the one about the shade, about the tint, I'm going to answer the other ones. Daniel says, do you personally use relays for every accessory mod you add? Can you put low amperage, add a fuse circuit to a higher amp fuse? Amperage always confuses me when it comes to splicing them because I don't know the stock amperage wiring. I have a 2017 Civic Hatch. My advice is not to overthink it. You know, don't be a rocket scientist to do something simple and easy. Most of the things that you're going to do with LEDs aren't going to require a ton of amperage. There's a ton of YouTube videos about how to find the amp pull or like the amp draw from an accessory. Every time I watch one of these videos, you watch a guy showing all this complicated crap, and then 10 minutes later, he comes up with the fact that he needs 1 amp. Like 1 amp so that he can power up some stupid little LEDs or whatever. And I'm like, bro, just throw a 10 amp fuse in there. You're good. Like, you don't need to go find a 1 amp fuse because you have a 1 amp pull accessory. Like, you're fine. Nothing's going to light on fire if you have some little LED bulb and it's getting powered up by a 10 amp fuse. Anything touches that 12 volts in that wire for a second, it's going to pop the 10 amp fuse immediately. I've burned a million fuses, 10 amp, 15 amp. It's when you take a circuit that's supposed to pop at a certain amount that's like 30 amps, something like that, and you just like, I don't know, bypass it, or you just run some crazy high amperage thing, that's when it can take a while to pop the fuse, and then the wires can get hot and it can start smoking. I have a 40 amp power supply that I use for turning on like HIDs and stuff. And dude, when those wires cross the power and ground, stuff just starts melting and smoking. It's scary. Like, that thing could start a fire for sure. But for the most part, if you've got a 10 amp circuit, like, it's going to pop like that. So the question was about relays. I use relays when I want to run like a completely separate circuit on something that's got a decent amount of pull. And so for that, you know, like you'll have 30, 40 amp relays. It's just basically to give a full shot of power more than it is about, you know, making sure that the amperage isn't too strong of a pull. I don't think that you should add something like a light bar to your parking light circuit or something that's not designed for some giant pull. So it really has to be a very specific question if you want a really safe answer to go by. And you can do most of that research online. There's all kinds of tools and stuff out there. I wouldn't just ask somebody and hope that what they tell you is like perfectly good to go. So dive in and do stuff and then turn out it's dangerous how you did it. It's the internet. Anybody can tell you anything. So I say that, and I teach people how to do stuff on the internet, so take that with a grain of salt, I guess. Jason says, what kind of things can I do to 2000 Ford Excursion headlight and taillight assemblies? Headlight assembly. Headlights are separated from the turn signal and taillights. I would like to make all LEDs, like to make them look nice. Okay, just do bulbs. Just save yourself from going absolutely crazy. Switchback bulbs and headlights. Cool, nice bright red LED bulbs for the taillights. You can throw something like a flash relay or the F1 flasher that I have. You can program it, does lots of cool stuff, and it's cheap. Like all these things that I recommend for most people are cheap because a little bit of money spent gives you a big result. A lot of money spent gives you a barely bigger, better result. So if that makes sense, a lot of what I feel is that Tim Ferriss is super dope author, kind of a crazy eccentric guy, but literally how I eat is based on this guy's advice of you can do 80% of the work of something and get a massive amount of return on it. Or if you do that extra 20% or even an extra 5 or 10%, so now I'm doing 90% of the whole thing and you get barely better returns on it. It's called diminishing return, right? So there's certain things when it comes to lighting where it's sure, you could spend, I say this about S2000 projectors all the time. You can get a really cool upgrade projector and it'll give you a massively better performance than your factory lights do, right? So you could spend $150 and get a dope setup that does that, or $200 or something. Or you could spend I don't know, $800 and get the best bulbs, the best projectors, the upgrade lenses, the best this, the best that, and it's barely better than that $200 option. It's better for sure. It's the best. You have the best, but man, that price that you pay to have the best is, I don't feel like it's worth it. And I feel like for most people that aren't snobby, it's not worth it. And I feel like the guys that hit me up that say, I need the best, I'm just that's a red flag. You seem like a pain in the ass. I definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of the guy that's saying, I need the best, only the best. That's some ego stuff that I don't definitely want to have to deal with. So that would be my answer to the question about that. Do some cool bulbs, simple stuff. Upgrade your low beams if you haven't done that. Upgrade your fog lights if you haven't done that. Go all things LED. You've seen before, I've talked a lot about the last fit stuff. I personally use those on my car. I don't think it's the best stuff that's ever been made. I just think that it's great for the money. So, and I like the owner. He makes great stuff. I like how he cares about his customers. So that's why I recommend his stuff. And all the other bulbs I'll be selling will be FlyRyde bulbs. So kind of like the owner of FlyRyde bulbs too. Okay, where did I end up after all that? My bad. Can you guys hear that fan going? I could feel it. I'm not chattering anymore. I'm just going on long tangents. So Lee says, I have a bunch of great ideas for sequential LEDs. Dude, post them up. Jump into that, jump into the course and just post up anything that you guys have to say. And also the private Facebook group. If you want in the comments, just type hashtag 5M5F. That will be 5 months to 5 figures. And I will make sure that I go back through and everybody that hits that hashtag, I'll definitely be sending off. Oh, and put your Facebook, your names, anything that I can use that'll help me contact you. Maybe do a comment on the video, hit a like on the video, all of those good things, just so that I can make sure that you get an invite for that private Facebook group. And that'll be great. So definitely use the comment section for stuff like that so that I can chase you guys down. What up, Marine Customs from Texas? How you doing, my man? So Real Jackson says, what's the initial investment as far as parts and supplies? It really depends what you're trying to do. If you're going with the custom sequential stuff like that, I don't recommend getting into sequential work unless you've got a ton of time and a few $100s for stuff, because sequential on a budget makes 0 sense unless you just buy it on eBay. Buy it pre-done. If it's a budget, you get the cool sequential stuff, you just don't have all the control of it. You don't buy all the tools, all the needed supplies so that you can make it custom. If you don't want to go down that road, then don't. go through the course, learn how to make some money doing basic stuff, and then spend all the money that you want on sequential because you've made a few $1,000s and you just want to increase your education on it. But be practical about it. Like, don't go spend $1,000 and have a bunch of stuff and have no idea how to use it. Like, you should wait until you're just foaming at the mouth to get a hold of those $1,000 of stuff, because you've already made it doing other fun stuff. So I'm going way too long right now, by the way. I got kids in there watching cartoons without me. I need to get in. All right. Dan says, where is I sign up? I'm just going up and down these comments, which is funny. I'm not paying attention. Christopher Anderson. Beautiful name, my man. You have any mods for a first-gen Mini Cooper? Probably a bunch of LED bulbs and flashers and cool stuff. Here's the thing, too. I'm going to go through a very basic install. I think I might have walked through it when I did the Ferrari, but I need to just do a very basic job. So I think I'm going to do this little series on my wife's 2008 Kia Sorento. So what that's going to look like is I'm going to pull the headlights off. That's actually going to be in the free course as well. I'm just going to show like super practical. Like, it's not my car, it's my wife's little mini SUV thing. I'm going to take the headlights off it. I'm going to open them up, paint them black, seal them back up, bring them to my buddy to polish up the lenses, and just walk you through that whole phase so that you can see exactly how you can do the same thing working with lights that you have access to. So again, if you're just watching right now, you didn't hear all the rant earlier, lightingcourse.com, link is below. Go sign up for free there, and you'll get to watch that whole thing as I kind of like take my wife's car and do some cool stuff to it. We'll do some custom fog lights and like a whole bunch of stuff using last fit bulbs. Very easy, very practical types of modifications that you can do. That's if you want to work on your own car. I don't suggest, if you're trying to make money, that you work on people's cars. Just build lights for them. So you can follow along as I build the lights for Angela, but it's the easiest stuff possible. So again, the easiest work that will give you the maximum results in the fastest time, that's what I suggest big time. Tim Wallace says, have I done anything for a 13 Dart? I have not. I don't almost ever do work on domestics. So I fully intend to dive into all things domestic, even trucks. I don't even like working on trucks ever, but I will do all the things when I don't have to make any money from it. I just have to be able to spread information and teach and work with brands and, do the sponsored video thing and all that. I look forward to getting a hold of everything that I can that I've had to stay away from because it wasn't profitable. So taking money out of the equation, I mean, this will get fun. I'm excited. I'm pumped about what's coming up. Let's see. Adam asked about the strips. Abraham, 2015 Accord LED all around. Any ideas to add switchback, keeping OEM boards, I think you were saying? I don't know what the Accord LED looks like. Are we talking about, yeah, it's got to be headlights because you said switchback. Abraham, if you can, get a little bit more specific for me and I will try to tell you what's up. Adam Ferguson, sweet. Lee says, what's the best LED flasher relay that you recommend? I don't know, CF13, CF14, like there's nothing too special about those. I know there's some weird side effects that happen when you take the like tap a turn or whatever they're called, like where you, I don't know, there's some diodynamic stuff that's cool. You probably know what I'm talking about if you get a WRX or something. And they don't play nice sometimes with certain switchbacks. It's weird when you blend different manufacturers' parts. Sometimes they don't play nice. So Adam Ferguson, have I ever messed with creating small lenses for taillights? Do you have a how-to? So anything that involves making plastic, number one, I don't recommend, and I don't have anything great that's going to help you. I'll do some vacuum forming later, but that's just like, it's really weird stuff. It's not like repeatable things. I don't want to teach people how to do a bunch of stuff that's not going to help them in the courses. I'll do that on YouTube. Just like literally, this is interesting. I'm going to do a dope video on it. A lot of people asked about it. Let's do it. Let's try to get, 100,000 views or something like that. Sounds like a great future for the YouTube channel. Andrew Davis, checking this course stuff out. I'm stoked. I think you said that you're stocked, but I won't be a word Nazi. Can't wait to build some cool lights. I can't wait for you either. Everybody that jumps in that course, like, please comment, please get involved. I don't mean in the video, I mean in the course. Talk to each other, get in the private Facebook group, and share pictures and feed off each other, because that's a great way to go. And I will share your stuff out and get you guys, if you go through it, like there's going to be, just so you know, tests along the way. So you won't be able to unlock the next stuff until like you've actually listened to the stuff that I said. So you can't just like go through and click and then like learn more stuff and like waste your time. Like I'm trying to protect you from you, so that you can't go through there and just blow through it and just click at the end or whatever. Like you'll have to go through it. It's like school and stuff. It's pretty cool. I love that I can kind of deliver the teaching content in a way that helps you learn. Wow, we got a bunch of things I haven't read yet. Let's see. Andrew Davis. Yep, that's what I just read. Okay, so we got Michael McDale. What would you do other cars like VW, Audi? I have a Passat with factory LED tails, but want to mod it to work in a different way, like the yellow turns to rotate to left, right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't wait to do more stuff on there. You look like you got a couple skeletons in your closet. The Legend? It's not a closet. Is that what you think? Closet? But explain what you mean, the Legend 27. Dark Flames 1284. Have a Mark IV GTI. I want to redo tail lamp sequential LED. What strip can I use to get the parking light and brake lights on the same strip? Parking light and brake light on the same strip. There are certain things that you can do. You can even just use like a Diode Dynamics HD strip where it has multiple functions built into it. That's a great idea, because then you get running light, brake light, turn signal. I have a video about that. If you go back to how to make custom side markers, it's got like a little red thing, too many words on the thumbnail. I should redo that. That's a cool one to check out. All right, Andrew Davis, stoked. Got it. The Real Jackson says LEDs are the rage in the RV industry now. I need to get down on some. There's some custom RV places all around me. That would be a fun video, just to do some gnarly, like riced out underglow RV and just hook that thing up. I'd love that. Ooh, or even like NeoPixel, so we can do like full on like 40-foot sequential turn signals. That would be sick. So that's where I got to get like a sponsored video from some RV coach maker company, and we'll just do nuts crazy stuff with it, or maybe do something cool for like one of the like the buses that take around like musicians and stuff like that. I'm sure their budget would cover some cool stuff. So we've got Triggered Itch Doc something. Sorry, butchered that. How can I find a custom set of Nissan Maxima 2016? Help me. Lots of guys do Maximas, bro. Just jump on this website. It's called Google. Search custom Maxima headlights, and you can jump on Facebook. You can, anybody that wants to get a little bit of cheat information, just dive right into it. Go on Facebook, look for a group called Headlight Junkies. Search in there just by asking. They'll probably be rude to you, like, oh, you don't know, you're not cool like us, like you're a noob. So after you get past their ego, you might get some answers. That'd be cool. And most of those guys are dorks anyway. They're like, I don't mean that like they're terrible people. They're all noobs in there, unless they're the guys that are trying to help each other out. I don't even like saying noob. It feels pretentious as hell. But there's lots of people in there looking for questions. It's like got like 30, 40,000 members. That's why I want to have a private Facebook group for the people that are in the course, because it'll be a lot more consolidated down to just people that are trying to do the same stuff, as opposed to people trying to sell you anything or trying to just all show off to each other. It's good to get around people that all just want to learn and advance, you know, like that whole camaraderie. It's cool. Okay, by the way, I've paid for so much training from different courses and different stuff like that myself, so I would never suggest that you go do anything paid online unless it's very unique to what you want to do. But if you can ever get specific training that is free and available to you, like that's great to do like a course thing, as opposed to random YouTube videos that you kind of stitch together information. Like get in one spot so you can consecutively learn from one person, and it tends to help a lot better. It'd be like if you had a different teacher every day in elementary school, and you're just trying to learn some basic stuff, and like Miss Johnson one day and then Miss Edwards the next day, and like everybody's changing their style. The kids would just be confused, and that's why you got one teacher for a whole year. Okay, tangent over. Andrew says yes, but it's not bad. Dan says, what's your Facebook group? So I think it's just lighting course, but just comment below like I'd said, And Casey got it. Casey Griffin commented 5M5F. Do that hashtag 5M5F. I'm going to start hashtagging that in the YouTube videos as well. That will help you guys just navigate around YouTube and find more of those. And Lee says, what do I recommend? Solid state relays versus standard relays? Depends what you're trying to do. Solid state's just better. So, I mean, there's that. I've killed a million standard relays, but I also have standard relays that are just tried and true, just holding it down, working great for the long haul. So, all right, Real Jackson, appreciate your help so much. Good, man. Black Flames 1284. How exactly does your class work? A friend of mine want to take it. Asking for a friend. I'm just kidding. Just jump in there. It's free right now. So not the whole course isn't free. That's $500, but that's like the academy. That's like you want to be a badass builder and know all these things, which most people don't need. It's honestly the online course is for very few. Like my ultimate goal would be like 200 people a year take that. That would be like the maximum amount that I would even aim for. But the free stuff, I literally want all roads to point to that. Like my Instagram, I want the YouTube videos, the podcast, the website, all things to push people towards that because it's going to help the max amount of people. And at least for right now, it's not going to cost them a penny and they can learn a lot. Carrie again says, can you link more than one ghost board together for bigger, longer programs? You can. You know who's a really good company about that is Automotive Custom Lighting. Now, they don't want to share. I talked to David, the owner. He doesn't want to share his program files with everybody because they spend like tons and tons of hours programming boards. But you can program it to where I've thought about this multiple times how I could do it. I could put like a ghost board on a 2-piece taillight. So some taillights have like one piece on the trunk, one on the car. You can actually put a ghost board to the inside taillight that like moves up and down with the trunk, and then a second board on the actual car itself, so that if you program it properly, they'll both get the signal at the same exact time, but you can actually set it to where the first part of the sequence starts on the trunk light, and then there's a gap in its programming on that particular ghost board. I'm going to lose everybody right here. But then the one that's on the car, it has a gap in its programming at the beginning of that little sequence, and then it picks up at the point where the other one stops. So then you just got a straight line, 2 separate ghost boards, but you've done custom programming so that they work in conjunction with each other. That's super tech, smart, over the top, unnecessary. I don't know. I just don't even like to work on 4-piece taillights for that exact reason, because you have to split it or you have to run tons of wires up through into the trunk. Not awesome. J. Irvine, solid state is more reliable, but has a small power draw when not in use. So certain things, I'm a big fan of kill switches. So I like to do things where you have one thing that you can turn on, or like, let's just say you've got a relay that is getting a trigger from the ignition. And you can even do time delay relays. Those are dope. If you've never heard of time delay relays, you can have something that like, it will only give power after it's triggered. It'll hold, the trigger will basically remain active and like keep the relay like to send power for a set amount of time, and you can adjust that set of time. So you could say like for 15 minutes after ignition's off, this thing will be putting out power, and then it'll kill it. So you could use that as a kill switch and have everything else activated, so it's only potentially going to get juice from a solid state relay while that thing is being fed by time delay relay. Nerd stuff. Cool things. I can't wait to dive into all that later. But it won't make any money, so you know it's only good for YouTube content. Once I'm making money other ways. David Bryant says, smash that like button, everybody. Smash that like button. Pound it. Do all the things that Peter McKinnon says to do to it. All right. Tim says 5M5F. Nice. Perfect. I will get a hold of you, and I hope. So that was your email. That's cool. Yeah. Everybody put your email, however you want to get a hold of me. You can also DM on Instagram, and we will send links as well to that. Kristen's taking care of Instagram for me, just so you know, so you guys can actually get responses. The only thing I don't respond to on Instagram is when people hit me up and they're just like, help me. I'm like, I don't know. I got a dude that hit me up on Facebook the other day. Seems like a super nice guy, all that, but he just like wrote me a book and said, help me. And like, I can't. I just can't. I got other stuff I have to do all the time. I need a course so I can help you that way. But like one-on-one stuff, I don't know. I'm gonna make it available. I have this thing called Experty where I can charge you per the minute to talk to me directly. I'm gonna open that up just because people apparently always want my help directly, like one-on-one, back and forth. Most of it is young guys that don't realize that all of that time that they're asking for, it actually like hurts me kind of, because there's other things that I'm supposed to be doing. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'll make my time available for a certain set of time. So if you need me one-on-one, you can buy that time. That will be interesting. It feels weird talking about it. What's the tag for the course again? Yep, everybody else is tagging it. We got a Russian dude in here saying some stuff that I don't understand, but I know that it's Russian because I'm Russian, and I lost it. Wonderful. Hendrix Boot, what's up, my man? Joey Grandstrom says sequential taillights for a Lexus SC300. See, that was the longest pause of the stream so far. I don't know. I don't know. Tell me what you're talking about, Joey. That was like a statement. It was like sequential taillights for a Lexus SC300 question mark. Yes is my answer. Yes. Jason Novak. I know you use Amazon for some stuff, but do you use for individual LED, PCB, and other small electronic parts? So, I mean, I need to just be making some of this stuff that's a lot more DIY specific. I'm thinking, tell me what you guys think about. Comment the word yes in the chat here if you think that I should start doing some crowdfunding on, like, not GoFundMe, I don't know, Kickstarter. Yeah, I will do Kickstarter stuff with you guys to bring products into existence that don't exist right now, just based on your demand. So it doesn't matter if I like it or not. It'll just be like things that you guys are asking for. I'll definitely fire up some Kickstarter stuff for sure. Things that are like I've wanted to do forever, and I can talk about it openly because I feel like if my ideas happen because I make them and you help me make them, cool. Like I'm sure I'll profit more from that stuff like that. But if my ideas come to fruition and people make the things that I talk about needing to exist that don't exist yet, and somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna steal that idea and go do it, dope, go make it, I'll use it, and I didn't have to get involved and be this like big, and didn't take any of my time. So like anybody that wants to steal any of my ideas, feel free. Like they're here on the internet, so go ahead and swoop right in and make it happen. So yeah, I will Kickstarter some stuff if you guys want, and we'll make things like I've said forever. I want to make like Legos where it's like a little strip of sequential with like a very easy connector so that you can connect it to the next strip of sequential and then another one. And I think we could also do that like multiple ways. There's so many ways that we could do these things and just try it out and make it happen. And if it's got to take my money like those GTR headlight bolts did, that took forever and it was terrible. And years in, it barely came together, and finally it did, only because of persistence. But had I done that with Kickstarter, like I think that would have happened 2 years ago. Probably would have been a better move. So yeah, if you want, I'll do it. I didn't even see any yeses yet because I'm way up in the chat. Dark Flames, thank you. Hendrix, again, what up? Abe Diaz, where do you order actual LEDs you use? The rectangle ones. They're from Korea, and those guys are hard to deal with. They are not friendly. DB Concept, is acrylic good material to make normal white DRL? I guess, yeah, like you can. Making almost anything from scratch looks cheesy in comparison to what you're used to seeing, because everybody thinks that you can just like build headlights. People ask me all the time if I make headlights from scratch. No, I don't. That costs millions of dollars to do. So like, I don't know. I don't really have millions of dollars. I don't do it. Kirk Lishman. But yeah, I was thinking about making something about the acrylic, how I used to do it like a million years ago when I was making my own angel eyes. I'm just going to make a video. There's all these crazy, massive high view videos, like maybe a handful of them, where people show you how to make an angel eye out of acrylic. I should just do that because I had all kinds of parts that I just thrown away, like little machines I made, little wooden machines that made angel eyes. Good days. Kirk says, who do you use for making the PCBs when you design them? Last project I did was with Morimoto, and so that's not like within reach. Usually that was like a big lots and lots of thousands of dollars job. There's a lot of guys that make stuff all the time with PCBs, small run stuff. There's all kinds of companies. I couldn't tell you. The guys at Ghost Lighting are a great resource for that kind of stuff. So I will ask Kyle from there, and we'll see what he says. I know I've asked him in the past. I just forgot. Lee says the app Udemy is free to download, but you pay for the classes, and they have so many different great videos. Yep, Udemy. There's also Teachable. There's a bunch of online resources. So there's things that I will talk about that I will refer you guys to other classes that you can take that have nothing to do with me. And ideally, a lot of those I'll have affiliate links for. So like if you go sign up for it, won't cost you anything different, and I'll get a little kickback, and I can like support different creators and different people I know that have made awesome content, things that I've paid for personally in the past, and refer you to them because I know it's good stuff. And that'll be cool. That'll be a great way to kind of keep this whole thing breathing. Dan says hashtag 5M5F. Thank you, Dan. Matt Warren, I just lost you. I don't know why this thing skips down. Signed up on lightingcourse.com. Can't wait to get stuck into this. Me either, man. I've been toying with lights for my own cars and buzzed to do it for others. Sounds like you're a great fit for that program, brother. Ian says VN something something something. Awesome. Kirk says, what do you use for bonding acrylic back together? I have it linked in my Amazon shop. It's something 16. I don't know. It's crazy good. Use that. Stumped glue or silicone. Silicone kind of sucks to use. It's just messy, and sometimes you can't really see the cracks. I like that 16 stuff because it dries hard as crap. It's crazy. Carrie says, actually, it does make sense. Thank you. Good. Hey, I'm glad, because felt like I was all over the place with that. Kyle, look, I was just talking about this man named Kyle Gregory, and there he is. Look up Clean SVX on Instagram if you want to see examples of multi-section ghost build like Chris just talked about. I'm so glad you're watching, Kyle. I always want you to have access to these streams and these people. Kyle's the man. He's brilliant. Everybody go follow Kyle in all things social media. Just don't bug him. Be nice. Southern Sally, he told me he loved me and he's super rich, but he only has like $5 in his PayPal. That's a sad story. I don't know what you're talking about, but good luck. Trevor, dropping that hashtag SD802. Did you end up doing the 03 Lincoln Navigator headlights? I didn't, but I should. It'd be fun. People say yes for Kickstarter. Okay, I'm down. Let's see. Time is money and no one gives you time back. My man, you're speaking my language here. Time is where it's at. Magnet connections. The real Jackson magnet connections? What's that? What are you talking about? Tyler Hicks, you think TJ will let you put LED strips on his Ferrari? You better. Yeah, but you know what? One thing is that like I goof around a lot about that stuff. You know how awesome it is that I have access to a guy who is crushing it on YouTube, which is extremely, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. So like someone doing well like TJ, I don't even care if anybody likes him or dislikes him. The dude is a hard worker. Like he deserves everything he's got. Go look at his old videos from 4+ years ago and he's just goofing around. Dude was consistently uploading videos nonstop. Like mad hats off to consistency because it's so hard. And you do all this work for years before you get any kind of result, any benefit. Like look at, I've barely been doing this stuff like little bits here and there on YouTube. In 2018, I finally picked it up a bit. And then just this year at the end, at the end of last year, beginning of this year, things actually are starting to move, which is great. And I'm years in, but like, I don't know, not making anything out of it. Like I had FlyRyde the whole time, so it was making money as I was doing YouTube and it helps the business. But time-wise, it is difficult doing YouTube. So I just say like the fact that I have friends like that I am able to work with and have access to those cars. Like I just asked him the other day, and you'll see this in a video coming up. I'm just like, hey, like, are you down with me putting the flashers on your Ferrari? Guy probably should have just been like, yeah, it's a Ferrari. You shouldn't chop up my wiring. He's like, go for it. Like that's so dope. So if it comes to things that are color changing, we've got a lot of fun stuff with the guys down in San Diego that are coming up. That's going to be like all rice. Too Fast, Too Furious. Like it's going to be a good time. I can't wait. And so I have a feeling that's going to end up onto lots of other things. Like I would love to do a bunch of underglow on exotic cars. That just sounds amazing. It sounds like a great time. So we'll see what happens with that. So that was for Tyler. Joey dropped in a hashtag. I got people commenting in my house that are wanting me to come in. So I'm about to wrap up right now. DD Concept. So which kind of LED should I use behind the acrylic? Bright ones. I don't know. Good bright ones. Power LEDs are great for that, but you know, not always the best to use if you're trying to do sequential. Let's see. You guys are gonna hear a little voice. Come out. Walk out. What's up, bud?
Can you help me with Jody? I don't know if he should get some to eat.
He's asking if I can help him with his little brother, so I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, I will come in there right now. Let me say goodbye to these guys. Hi, buddy. That's why I don't do the live streams at home, you know, but it's all good. That was super cute. Okay, Pagan Wizard, yes, you say yes. What type of LEDs use in tail lamps for blinkers? Amber, all that stuff's coming in. All the new bulbs are coming in. Pumped about it. All right, you guys, Carrie says she's gonna go follow Kyle. That's dope. Someone says laugh their ass off. I'm glad you're laughing. Kyle, check you out. Everybody go follow Kyle for sure. Adam Ferguson, what's the difference between free course and $500 course? One course teaches you how to make $10,000. That's free. The other one teaches you how to do stuff that will definitely not make you tons of money because the time invested, I don't know. One of them is just all sorts of stuff that's up here in my head that I know how to do that needs to exist. And it takes a lot of effort to put out there and all the how to retrofit this, how to do this, how to do that. I don't recommend you do those things to make money, but I recommend if you really want to learn how to do them a great way, I'm just building a whole school for you. So like I'm going to charge you for it. And I think that's absolutely reasonable considering everything that's going to be packed into that and it's already in there. But more than anything, it's to keep it sustainable so that I can do all of this stuff. So that $500, I really look at it like this. The make you $10,000 course that's free. If you can't take a little sliver of that and put it to the other stuff, then like I don't think it really makes sense. Like you don't care enough about that stuff to do it anyway. If I show you how to make a few $1,000s and 500 of it goes back in, and then you know consistently make that $500 back all the time, like you won't even feel it. I've paid for a lot of courses myself, like I've said, and I put a lot of that stuff to use. I paid $1,200 something, I believe, years ago on how to make online courses. And I didn't even do it the way that they said. I ended up doing something else that cost, I don't know, $1,400 to get involved with the software for a year. So it cost me $1,400 just to have the site software to do a free course for you guys. So like, obviously that's not sustainable, right? So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff available on there. Little mini courses that are like $100, less than $100. That'll be like how to do just this, how to do just that. A la mode, there'll be 10, 15 of them in there. And then there'll be the Academy that just includes all of that for $500 instead of adding them all up one by one and being 1,500 or more. So hope that answers that question. Adam Ferguson. Lee says, hey man, thank you for all your support. I'm sure everyone will appreciate your time. I have my wife and 3 kids and it's really hard to giggle with the family. I think you mean juggle, but that's cute. You can giggle too. A job and a business. Absolutely, my man. Real Jackson, magnetic connections for the Lego system. Wow. Oh, got it. Yeah, that'd be freaking, that's some like next level stuff. That's amazing. They just touch each other for them to operate. Whew, that's getting me fired up. I don't know how I do that, but that'd be cool. Lee says, mad respect to you and your family. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate that, brother. Let's see. For Lewid, is it possible to remake a damaged C-bar DRL diffuser somehow? No. I wouldn't try to fix old broken stuff. It's so much better to buy a broken headlight and take a good part from inside that broken headlight than to take a good headlight with a broken part and try to like ghetto fix that broken part. Doesn't do it. Kirk, well done, 16. Cheers. Got it. Appreciate the live video. Cool, man. I'm glad you appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Real Jackson, a signal passed through by way of magnetic. Dude, I don't know if that exists, but that sounds super dope. Russian dude says, do you use fuse adapters? Like add a fuse? Yeah. Tyler Hicks, oh yeah, I've been with TJ for almost 5 years. He works, yeah, dude. Tyler, if you've been following his stuff, you get it. Like, guys just come so far. It's amazing. And let's see, wrapping up here with Adam Ferguson, definitely reasonable price. Just wondering the difference. Thanks for your answers. You got it. Hendrix Boots. Dude, go help the wee one. I'm going, Mr. Hendrix Boot, for sure. 12 BMX dude, have a nice day. Cool. You guys all, I appreciate everybody for sure. So go get access to that free course at lightingcourse.com. Spam all things wherever you can, that hashtag 5M5F on Instagram. I'll find your posts. I'll do all that as you go through. We'll talk a whole bunch more. I got to go help baby. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm glad that I didn't freeze the whole time, but at the beginning it was pretty terrible. So anyway, you guys enjoy your Sundays and your weekends. I'll see you next time. Later.